I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Today we're reading from the book of Psalms, chapter 114, and let's focus on verses 1 through 8. When Israel went out of Egypt, the house of Jacob, from a people of a strange language, Judah became his sanctuary, and Israel his dominion. The sea saw it and fled. Jordan turned back. The mountains skipped like rams, the little hills like lambs. What ails you, O sea, that you fled? O Jordan, that you turned back? O mountains, that you skipped like rams? O little hills like lambs? Tremble, O earth, at the presence of the Lord, at the presence of the God of Jacob, who turned the rock into a pool of water, the flint into a fountain of waters. Now, when we think of a sanctuary, we typically think of a church. So what's interesting about the psalmist's statement today, that Judah became God's sanctuary, is that the priests came from the tribe of Levi. Now, the Levites were in charge of all the articles of worship, both in the desert tabernacle and later in the temple in Jerusalem. We would naturally assume that Levi would become God's sanctuary. So why does the psalmist say Judah? Sanctuary does not always refer to a place of religious practice. It can denote just simply a safe place. For instance, when a person runs into a certain city, a church, or maybe even a foreign embassy, they can claim sanctuary. They're not necessarily claiming a religious right. They're claiming that they are endangered and have fled to safety. At least that's the concept behind a sanctuary city. With respect to today's psalm, Levi would be the tribe to whom the Lord would make his presence known in religious matters. But Judah is the tribe that he chose to carry the messianic line. Now, the psalmist tells us today that God began to establish that choice at the Passover when Israel left Egypt. Jacob had prophesied concerning this matter in his last recorded words in Genesis chapter 49, and this was 400 years before the Exodus. Genesis 49, verse 10, "The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor the lawgiver from between his feet until Shiloh comes, and to him shall be the obedience of the people." So we are safe then to presume that the central subject of Psalm 114 is the Messiah. And while the Messiah, Jesus, is fully God and fully man, the human line through whom the Messiah would be born was preserved through the tribe of Judah. The sanctuary then goes to Judah, whereas the worship, the Levitical worship, goes through the tribe of Levi. But the presence of natural signs and wonders, earthquakes, seas and rivers parting, and water gushing from rocks, they all testify that while the humanity of the Messiah was preserved through the tribe of Judah, the eternal deity of the Messiah has always been present. He was with Israel in the wilderness as well. The Apostle Paul told the church in Corinth in 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 1 through 5, "Moreover, brethren, I do not want you to be unaware that all our fathers are under the cloud. All passed through the sea, all were baptized into Moses in the cloud and in the sea. All ate the same spiritual food, all drank the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them. And that rock was Christ, the Messiah. But with most of them God was not well pleased, for their bodies were scattered in the wilderness." So just as Israel in the wilderness had a faith choice to make, to believe the Messiah who was in their midst, we must also choose to believe in him. Now, he chose us and that he would die for us while we were still sinners, and yet you still have a choice to make. We have to choose to believe in him, that he is present, that he is available as we wander the wilderness of our generation. God still beckons us to come out from this world and to believe in the Messiah, Jesus. Would you do so today? If you have more questions about what it means to believe in Jesus, well, you can go to our website, groundworksministries.com. Those answers are there. I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. You know, Groundworks Ministries operates entirely through financial donations from faithful people like you. And yes, we need your monthly support now, more than ever. Donating is secure and it's easy at our website, groundworksministries.com. Another way to help is to tell people about Groundworks Ministries. You can share these podcasts with friends and family and on your social media. Of course, you can always direct folks to our website, groundworksministries.com.